Sir Patrick Stewart.
Okay. Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. Like, you don't really see him in comedy. Hi everyone, welcome back to Player Guides. I'm Hannah.
I'm Cameron.
And I'm Osprey.
And Osprey is on the sticks with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, battling through the Elite Four and kicking butt.
We're halfway through already. These episodes are going to be a little shorter than our average just because we realized to make 3 episodes before the game is over, we'll cut the Elite Four in half. So we're on the second half of the Elite Four. Flint is here, and obviously he's a Fire-type specialist, so he's going to have 20
Look at that
Fire-type
ginger
Pokemon
hair.
in his team. Rapidash is very majestic. Did you, Osprey, did you end up catching the Alpha Rapidash in Legends Arceus?
Yeah.
Nice.
What does the Alpha Rapidash look like?
It's a Rapidash, just bigger.
Oh.
They're usually like, what, twice as big or 3 times as big as normal?
It depends on which one. Like which species of alpha.
Oh,
but
interesting.
Oh, already Lopunny time.
Yeah, Flint, you liar.
It bugs me so much
You were saying
that they couldn't
earlier.
give the Fire-type specialist all Fire-type Pokemon because they didn't include enough. That should have been an indicator to you that they didn't include enough. Like, they should have known they didn't have enough Fire-type Pokemon if they couldn't even give the Fire-type specialist more than 2.
You know what would have been a fun thing to do, and I get that they're doing a remake, so maybe it wasn't on the table, but if they took Flint's team and they used that to determine some regional variants, and they were like, okay, here's a Sinnoh Steelix, a Sinnoh Driftglim, and a Sinnoh Lopunny, and made all 3 of those fire types, those regional variants fire types, so that like he gets his original team from Diamond, but then he does, in the remake, he got his fire type team.
That could have been cool.
Aww.
And again, they outsourced this one, so I'm a little less inclined to.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where, like, with the with the limitations, I'm sure the team that worked on this, like you said, it's a third-party company, it's not Game Freak. They were under probably stricter limitations for what they could and couldn't do because they had to get approval from the Pokemon company or however that process worked.
But this also bothered me in the very first iteration.
Yeah, in the original Generation 4. And it was a pretty common complaint that, at least it's got a Fire-type move. But yeah, it was a common complaint that Generation 4 was oddly light on fire Pokemon, and then kind of heavy on water Pokemon. Now that you finished your burrito, Hannah,
yeah.
How's your week been?
Week's been good. It's been busy. Work's been kicking my butt a little bit, just with recruiting and hiring managers, but otherwise it's been fine. I did a stage reading of a few plays that were getting workshopped on Friday, so that was fun, something different.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that process. So this was...
So these plays were either snippets of a full play or already meant, like a 10-minute play, just by local playwrights in the area. And they had already been kind of rewritten and workshopped, so it was to a point where this was a moment for them to be read by actors and receive feedback from the audience afterwards to, see what, if any, other adjustments or edits could be made.
Oh, nice.
So that was a lot of fun. It was just in a little black box theater, but it was, it was good. I got to play or read for different character types, which I don't know. I enjoy being a character actress, not necessarily always playing the ingenue.
What, me not being a thespian, can you explain the terminology a bit when you say
So a character actress, doing various types of characters, whether that be like a comedic best friend or something more dramatic, like
Hey! Nice.
being able to do a range of like anything from Shakespeare
A convenient switch. Do we just fire this boy?
to contemporary,
Yeah.
versus like Benedict Cumberbatch, I feel like is a good example, or Patrick Stewart. Like they play, I don't know that I'd call them character actors because they play very like one archetype when you see them. Does that make sense?
Sorry, who did you say? Robert Downey Jr. always plays like the same smarmy.
Well,
dude.
that's another one. Yeah, I said
I think I
Benedict Cumberbatch. He might not be the best type though. Example. So like
Is he fire type?
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Okay. Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. Like, you don't really see him in comedy. You know what I mean? Not
Gotcha.
saying he can't do it. I'm sure he can. But it's not, like... Or Denzel Washington.
Yeah, Denzel Washington is not... he's a
like,
great dramatic actor.
And he
he's
could
probably a fine comedic
yeah, he
actor,
could.
but
I have no doubt he
doesn't
could do
go to
comedy,
those
but
roles.
Exactly.
I follow.
Whereas character actor is more like Johnny Depp.
Gotcha. And you're saying that you enjoy being
I
a character
enjoy
actor.
being a character actor. Yeah,
That's
I
interesting.
like that challenge. Yeah.
So, in your most recent group of plays that you've been in, you got to be a bunch of different characters.
Yeah, but it was just like a straight read. So it was quick in the sense that as I'm reading these lines, right, you're kind of making the character up on the spot or interpreting the character on the spot. It's not you don't have that process of let's read the full play, let's create the backstory. That sort of thing.
Gotcha. Now,
I really like Infernape. I really like the look of him.
yeah, he's one of the other starters, along
Yeah.
with Torterra and Empoleon. What? So this is interesting that you say that, because the closest thing to acting with you that I've ever done is playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the reasons I like playing it with you so much. But when we do Dungeons and Dragons, I feel like you tend to enjoy playing the same character very frequently.
Yeah, I struggle with that, so I need to
What do you mean?
branch out. I get extremely, for whatever reason, I get extremely self-conscious with D&D, and I think it's just, it's a new
Oh yeah, Louis, bulky boy.
bulky boy. I don't know how to describe it. I get
cry,
self-conscious,
Louis.
and I
Nice.
get in my head easier
Is
with
it-
D&D than
so-
I do
so-
with physically acting.
So there are similarities, but obviously they are very different things. I'd say Dungeons and Dragons, or any tabletop role-playing game, when you get comfortable in it, the
He
closest
looks
thing it
like
is.
he's constipated.
That's the joke they make about Super Saiyans all the time. Also in Dragon Ball Z, when they do their charge ups, Yeah, that's what they say. Flint's trying to go Super Saiyan. Well, that's another Elite Four member down. We only got one more to go, and then Les Champions. Dungeons & Dragons is a game, and it's not acting, but there's elements, I feel, that are similar in role-playing games and acting.
I think so. Yeah,
but it's improv, and you have never done a lot of improv.
And I've not done a lot of improv, and I think the other thing is I get, for whatever reason, I don't know if I can fully explain why, I also get self-conscious in D&D because in performing like that, it's me performing like that in front of close friends.
Oh, interesting. Lucian.
And
you timed your arrival well. I've just finished reading a book, you see. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is L to the U to the C to the I-A-N. I am a user of psychic types. I must say, you've already proven yourself to be outstanding by coming this far. They say I'm the toughest of the Elite Four. I'm afraid I'll have to go all out against you to live up to that reputation.
I don't like your glasses.
Really? I think they're cool. I like the tinted... I don't wear them myself, but I like the tinted reading glasses. I like his style. Look at him. He's got a nice little suit on. He's pulling the Ahmadinejad.
Mr. Mime.
He's wearing a suit and no tie. Classic. Out of the Elite Four, who's been your favorite design so far?
Mine?
Yeah.
Bertha.
Bertha. What about you, Osprey?
I'd have to say Lucian's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I think he looks real slick. I'm trying to think of anyone else who
I
wears
bet that's
suits.
a velour, not a velour, velour or a velvet suit.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he just strikes me as that type of guy. Like, if he's gonna wear a suit, he's gonna go in with all velvet.
I dig it.
He's loving the 70s retro,
He's pulling it off.
I guess.
So who's been, I guess, out of NPCs in general, and it might be hard to remember them all, so I'm not asking you to remember them all, but the designs that stick out in your mind, who is like, oh, this character design was cool, or I liked this character design.
Damn it, Mr. Mime.
Monsieur Mime.
I don't know. That's a good question.
For me, it's always been Lance is a big one. He, like, it's very, he just was very striking in the first generation game. And I know you haven't seen Lance, but he's the dragon type Elite Four member.
Okay.
And he wears like a cape and everything, and it was like, oh, he's pretty cool.
I don't know. Well, you're bringing up capes. I still really like, and maybe it's just because it's most recent, but I still really like Leon.
Yeah, Leon
From
was cool
Sword.
that they did like the sponsorship thing, like on the back of his cape. It seemed like he was sponsored by companies, and like
Yeah.
he seemed like an actual pro athlete kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which fit with the vibe that they were doing in Sword and Shield. Osprey, what about you?
I'm not 100% sure. It kind of depends on
Yeah, you faint, Mr.
what
Mime.
I've been. Kind of depends on what I've been paying attention to, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. Sorry, we got off top. Well, we got back on topic, but we were originally off topic. So let's go back off topic, Hannah. You were talking about D&D.
I get self-conscious in that vulnerability with D&D, with my friends and acting, more so than I do on stage with strangers, because in my view, like, stage actors, like, you know the drill, and I don't have a fear that I mean, I still have somewhat of a fear. It's not as much of a fear that I'm gonna be, like, I'm not worried about how the other actors are gonna judge me, or play off of me or accept me, and like I don't know how to describe it, because I know for D&D, like, these are our close friends, and that non-judgment is already there.
That's actually what I was going to ask. Is
but
do you
it's
feel
like yeah, that's like the best way to put it.
Is there
It's
something we
interesting.
could do to make that better?
I don't know, because
I
I
feel-
don't know that it's on you guys. It's all like internalized in my head.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, one, I appreciate you talking about this, because I don't think we've had this conversation
It's that
before.
it's like a sense of vulnerability. Like on stage with strangers, I don't. Sometimes I do, but not always. That fear of vulnerability isn't as present.
Mhm.
Whereas in D&D, it's there 99% of the time.
Do you think you'd feel the same way if the same group of people we were just doing like general improv together, or is it something about the game, the fact that it is a game?
No, I
with rules?
probably would with the same group of people doing general improv. I guarantee I still would feel that way.
Twisted the dimensions. Giraffe rig. Well played. Lucian, you know what? We're so worried about Cynthia, but Lucian's putting up a good fight too here. Osprey,
Yeah.
what about you? And because like we played a bunch of D&D together by this point, how like and just RPGs in general. What do you share Hannah's feelings about stuff, or have you been pretty comfortable?
I'm shy about acting no matter what. Like, I was having anxiety off stage when I was in high school and did a little bit of theater. Like, right before we'd go on, I would just have massive anxiety to the point people were like, "Are you okay?" And then I would, and then I'd be fine once we got started. And like with LARP, once I kind of got into things, I would manage. But I'd get really nervous right before game. The thing with D&D is I feel like there isn't the same structure that helps me deal with it for like LARP and LARP and theater.
Which way do you mean? D&D is missing structure, or the other two are missing structure?
D&D is like with theater, I couldn't like really practice a ton outside of the actual like dress rehearsals and whatnot, because there wasn't the context of, okay, we're all doing this at the same time, we're all acting at the moment. And like there's a certain amount of immersion that happens with LARP that's harder to get with D&D and other tabletop RPGs.
I think I'm following what you're saying, but I mean, this has been fun. We've beaten another 2 Elite Four members.
Yeah.
I've appreciated your thoughts, both of your thoughts on RPGs and stuff, because I definitely like, I want to empathize, but that's just not something I experience personally. So it's interesting to hear about.
Well, and I would be curious, because I also view you as you seem like you are very much an extrovert, so it seems like when you try new things in general, you just dive head first. Like, it doesn't, from my perspective, you don't seem like you have that fear of you're not afraid to look like a fool or to look silly.
Yeah.
It's a learning
I don't know if that
experience.
has to do with extrovert or introvert. Like, I'd view myself as an introvert. I get worn out with people and I need like my me time. But yeah, I guess with new stuff I've never really thought about.
I was 100% raised to always be aware of how everybody perceives me. And like, don't you embarrass us, don't make us look bad. Like, this whole thing all around about you never know who's going to happen to see you and what impact they'll have later on your life, sort of thing. Like, That's what I was raised with, was don't accidentally embarrass us or yourself or anything. So
Yeah, and that's a
Like-
real, like, unfortunate mindset to have, like, instilled on you, as especially when you're an impressionable child, but at any point in time. And I think I'm lucky that my parents, both of them,
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck, and they taught me not to.
Yeah, I do think like as I've gotten, because I empathize and can relate with that Osprey, and but I think as I've
Here, if
gotten
we're gonna go to
older,
Cynthia, we'll finish your thought, and then we'll.
I
call
was
this
just gonna
episode.
say I think as I've gotten older, I am getting to the point now where I could care less what others think.
But it's a hard
but I'm still
thing
there.
to break
It's
out
still
of.
there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I will ever break out of it entirely.
But it's something to.
But it's yeah. Anyway,
And hopefully, good friends can
well
help
yeah,
you feel
for
more
sure.
comfortable about that. and
For
stuff.
sure.
All right, we're gonna call this an episode.
Yep.
And we're gonna come right back on the next one, and we're gonna
Beat
face
Cynthia.
our toughest challenge, the champion
Yep.
of the Elite Four.
Champion.
See everybody.
Bye bye.
see ya.
Thanks for playing with us.